Hello. Today I'm discussing self-defense and the law. What preppers should know. Your EDC bag should contain self-defense items, and you should know the legalities. Let's get started. Self-defense and the law. Self-defense can be a tricky issue to deal with. While the law allows you to defend yourself, your family, and your property, you're required to only exercise reasonable measures to secure your safety. For example, if someone breaks into your house and you throw a heavy object at them, causing injury, that is self-defense. However, if you stab the intruder repeatedly until they die, then it becomes murder. There is a fine line here with no real right or wrong answers, because panic may grip you and situations can become very fluid. Very often, it will be left to the courts to decide if you acted in self-defense or were unnecessarily violent. Know the law. This is the most important point. Laws vary from country to country and state to state. If you live in the US, using a firearm on a home intruder may still mean that you get arrested. An investigation will be conducted to determine if the use of a firearm was warranted. Breaking into a home doesn't necessarily give the homeowner a right to take the intruder's life. It's best to use the firearm as a warning to get them to leave rather than engaging in a shootout. If you discharge a firearm at an intruder and they're injured or dead, you'll need to call 911 and give the briefest of details. Just say that there's been a shooting at your house and give the address. Never volunteer information. Remember, everything you say can and will be used against you in a court of law. Be Joe Friday. Just the facts. He broke in. I saw a weapon. I shot him. Do not give more details than necessary. Store the firearm in a safe place and do not be holding it when law enforcement arrives, or you may end up getting shot yourself. The police are not your friends. Give them as little details as possible. Call your lawyer and get good legal advice before speaking to any member of law enforcement. Cross your T's and dot your I's. Always make sure your firearm is registered and legal. Discharging an unregistered firearm is a crime and will adversely affect your defense in the event you're caught up in court. If you're carrying a pocket knife, it shouldn't be more than 3 inches long. Blade length can vary from state to state, however. For instance, in Colorado it's 3.5 inches. In New York, it's 4 inches. Ohio is a measly 2.5 inches. Know your local laws. If you're involved in a fistfight and you brandish a knife and accidentally stab your attacker to death, you could be in serious trouble with the law. Escalating attack is never a good idea. But if you're being battered and really need an edge, the pocket knife may save your life. In this case, it could be considered self-defense. This is what makes the whole self-defense issue so tricky. The judge or jury gets to decide if the weapon was an offensive weapon or a tool used for self-defense. Your argument for self-defense will be weighed against your intentions at the time. A woman who is about to be raped can stab a man in the neck and get away with self-defense because of the heinous nature of the crime. The general consensus is that if it's property being stolen or the crime is non-violent, killing the criminal can land you in prison for murder or death by negligence. However, if the criminal is inflicting violence against you, such as trying to rape or kill you, then killing your attacker will be self-defense. If someone breaks into your house and has a gun, shooting them is justified because they could just as easily shoot and kill you. What matters is that you can show your use of force was to prevent death or great bodily harm to yourself or your loved ones. If you can do that, charges against you may be dropped, and your argument of self-defense will be valid. Know the law well and do not overreact to situations. Owning a gun at home doesn't give you the right to shoot just anyone who breaks in. If the criminal is leaving the house with valuables, let him go. Never chase a criminal outside your house and shoot them. The moment you do that, your argument for self-defense goes out the window, and now you've gone from victim to perpetrator. The best way to know when to use deadly force is when your own life or the ones you love are in danger. If you can avoid violence and get away with it, then do it. Violence is a last resort. Lost valuables may be recovered, but the time you spend serving a prison sentence for killing a burglar cannot. Even during all the panic, do your best to assess the situation before reacting. A calm mind is the ultimate weapon when things go sideways.